Let's go.
Recording's going, and no Will this week, so thanks for coming back, Beto.
Thank you for having me back. I'm looking forward to a
Yeah,
great show.
yeah, we
Great.
love having you on here, bro.
All
Don't
right.
invite me too many times because you wouldn't be able to get rid of me.
The fifth member.
There you
Yes,
go.
the unofficial fifth member.
Right. Looking forward to week 6 in the NFL, but before we get to that, not a whole lot for college this week, but there's one thing I want to mention. Oh, Miami. Oh, Lord, what was your coach thinking?
Oh,
Up by a field goal with 38
Hmm.
seconds left. I believe it
All,
was Georgia Tech
all
they
you
were
had to
going
do is
against.
down it.
All
Yeah.
he had to do was kneel. And
Kneel,
for
yeah.
whatever reason, they decided to run. The other team had no timeouts. A kneel would have ended the game and won it for him. What happens? They fumbled, and the other team came back and won. The players were
And there was
devastated.
no need to fumble. There was no need
No.
to do anything. Just kneel
Just
down.
nail the
Right.
ball. That's coaching issues right there.
Oh yeah.
I've
Terrible.
never seen a bigger coaching blunder, especially in the college football realm, in my life up until that one. Like, what were you
That was
thinking,
a terrible
Miami?
decision.
Very. Like, you had one job, and you had the game in the bag, and you fumble at the wrong time. Like, dude. Oh man.
But the
Just
brain
that
fart
was-
the brain fart came in a situation where he didn't even have to, try to run a play. I
right.
understand if he did and the guy fumbled and just bad luck, but you had to kneel. All you had to do was kneel down. That's it.
Mhm.
You decided to
Mhm.
run the ball for whatever reason, and that happened. And it's like, wow, I've seen both head moves from coaches, pros and college, but this one here, man, got to take the
This one,
cake.
yes. Like I said, I've never seen a bigger coaching blunder or team blunder in general than that one.
That was
just took
terrible.
the cake. Man, if I'm a Miami fan, I would be putting a paper bag on my head for the rest of this season in embarrassment.
That coach should be on the hot seat, I think, after that.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to just a little rant here. Why the heck is
Oh.
Kentucky ranked in the 20s when they only have one loss to Georgia, who is ranked number 1? Why are
don't
they
know.
in the 20s?
Makes no sense. Makes no sense.
I hate politics when it comes to football, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I
Especially
really
college
do.
football.
College football rankings are so weird.
I'm telling you, bro. You one loss.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
To the
What
number
are you
1
doing
team.
down there? Yeah. What? I mean, come on, 20.
Yeah, I
That's a
think
good
at
point there,
least
bro.
in the teens, like the early
Uh,
teens.
Yeah.
Another good example would be the Red River Classic between Oklahoma and Texas.
Mhm.
Like Texas was number 3 and they sank down to number 9.
Well, where
it's
was
not as bad as
Oklahoma ranked before that?
that's a good question. I think they were maybe 7 or 8. I want to say I have to double check my facts
Yeah.
there, but
I don't remember it either.
Yeah, because that
I
kind of
don't really.
plays into it depending on where they were, and they beat the number 3.
It sure does. It sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll
So
drop
unless
you down quite a bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean the score was only a full point difference. I wouldn't have imagined Texas to fall down that
Yeah,
pretty significantly.
I think
I
they
was
should have been
thinking, okay,
closer, but
right,
that's
yeah.
just me.
I was thinking, okay, maybe they'll drop to 4, not excuse me, 5, 6, maybe 7, but not 9. Like, ah, once again, the college football playoff politics came into the play here,
Yep.
so can't say much on that.
Which again, how the heck is Florida State number 4 after almost losing to Clemson?
Oh, I don't know. Who knows?
Those are the $1 million questions, my friend, that we can sit there and ask and just and go,
Yep.
what the hell is going on?
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know.
But with that out the way, let's get into the NFL. Thursday
Hell
night,
yeah.
we've got the Broncos and Chiefs.
Mm,
I don't think anybody expects the Broncos to win this.
I highly doubt it. The Chiefs defense looks like it's getting their groove, and offense, it, their offense, they still have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey doing their things, but they still have some issues here and there, but they still getting the job done. I fully
Yeah.
expect the Broncos to get their butts kicked again by the Chiefs. I mean, the Broncos just have a horrendous defense, and their offense is. I mean, they lost to the freaking Jets last week, and by the way, y'all, I did lose my bet last week to Jose, so I got to pay him lunch this coming weekend.
For my
Um,
my editing self in the future, please insert the clip from last episode.
How about this? How about this, Jose? If you were right about if you're right about Zach Wilson and the Jets beating the Broncos, I will personally treat you the Chick-fil-A. How about that?
Hey, let's go.
Hey.
Another bet.
Yes. So yeah, I'm
That's
eating my
funny.
crow there. But yeah, like the Broncos, you guys lost to the Jets, so I'm sorry, you guys ain't beating the Chiefs unless y'all have a miracle happen against the Chiefs. I just don't see it happening. I got the
Mhm.
Chiefs winning by at least 14 points.
Yeah,
I'll take the Chiefs as well. Oh yeah, good, good.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I was gonna say I'll take the Chiefs as well by like 10 or 14. The Broncos are a bottom five team on offense and defense. Like I don't expect them to do anything to the Chiefs. The Chiefs haven't been putting up insane numbers or anything, but they don't need to.
Mm.
Um, their running game has been better than it was last year, it seems. Pacheco's actually doing stuff here and there. Um, and I mean, it doesn't hurt the Chiefs to have the Kansas City refs on their side. So even
Yeah.
if the Broncos had a miracle, the refs would wipe it away.
Yeah. Did we want to talk about that last week against the
Sure.
the Vikings? Because that was
I'm sorry. Yeah, the Vikings got robbed. I mean, I don't have much sympathy for anyone considering how we got robbed a couple years ago, but that was just highway
what
robbery, right?
what gets me is on the replay. I've seen the clip a few times now, and it's not only like the defensive pass interference, which was questionable, could call it, could not. What gets me is the fact that Cousins got clotheslined in the back, and that was
Mm.
no flag.
Oh yeah. And then the pass interference in the end zone that was clearly pass interference was not called. And I mean, it was initially called, but then they waved the flag off. I'm just like, what are y'all thinking? That was clearly pass interference. Like,
That's just the
something,
NFL having their hands in the pot, bro. NFL like to dictate things and things that are so evident that
Yeah.
should be called, not being called. You got to wonder what the NFL has their hands in. Because come on, a play like that, like the hit on Kirk Cousins, is I mean the whole world's seen it. How is that not a penalty?
Mm-hmm.
right.
You know,
And the hypocrisy of the NFL is like they preach about player safeness, especially at the quarterback position. They're trying to make sure they're not getting hit high or low. But when you allow a hit like that and not get flagged for it, come on, that's
Yeah,
just being a
the
hypocrite.
the clip, I don't think I have it on me to like put in the chat or anything, but the clip shows it's like the angle they show on TV and everything. So you see a defender just blast through the O line and clothesline Kirk. Like his feet came out from underneath him. He's doing a backflip almost.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I think that should have at least been a flag for roughing the passer. That's a little much.
I agree. It was, yeah, poor Vikings. Well, then again, like I said, I don't have too much sympathy for those guys because, they get away with a lot of stuff, but you know what? It is what it is. I mean, refs are horrible in the NFL, so.
That's another thing going into that conversation before the podcast. The luck of having the refs on your side or not.
that is
Right.
correct. Very true.
And and sadly, the Saints have not been very lucky in recent years.
A lot of teams haven't been lucky. The night
Mhm.
when we lost the Super Bowl to the Kansas City Chiefs on that 50-yard bomb to Hill,
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
they didn't call that hold. They were clearly holding on Bosa. Everybody's seen it, and they didn't call it. Why? Because Patrick Mahomes was on the other side. Who's Jimmy Garoppolo? He ain't nobody. So they always favor that. The only one time where Patrick Mahomes was not favored is when he faced Tom Brady. Tom Brady is more favored than Patrick Mahomes, and that's when
that is
the
true.
The
call did
poster
not
boy.
go. Kansas. Yep, that's why the call didn't go Kansas City in the Super Bowl against Tampa, because it was Tom Brady on the other side. But Jimmy Garoppolo, yeah, good luck and try to get penalties called for your team. No way.
Mhm.
It's all politics.
That is true. Sad NFL world we live in.
Yeah,
But
but
we love to watch it.
That's right. That's right.
yeah, going back to this, I think it's no doubt the Chiefs should win this game, especially considering I believe the Broncos are going to be without their starting running back.
Mm.
So
Do they even
Yeah.
have a starting running back?
I think they've kind of been
Yeah.
rotating them in and out. But
Well, Javante Williams is supposed to be the bag, but he's still out. It's going to be McLaughlin.
yep,
Their running game is
It's
terrible
trash.
over there.
Yeah.
the offense in general is not amazing. It's not great.
Yeah, and they added Mike McClinchy. I know him all too well.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah, bro, Kansas City
Yeah.
definitely is going to take this. I like the defense. They're way better than Denver, and Patrick Mahomes is, and they play the same division, so they're very familiar with each other. Yeah, of course they have your guys' old coach there, but still, Andy Reid has been in the league long enough to know different coaches and coaching styles and what they like and what they don't like to do. And I see this game being a blowout. I don't see it to be like a Miami 70 to whatever it was blowout, but the Chiefs will win at least by 20 points, if not more.
I could see that happening.
I don't know if it'll be 20. I'm thinking like maybe 14, only because we've seen how the Chiefs played against the Jets, and then how the Jets played against the Broncos. The Broncos might put up some kind of a fight, but the Chiefs are still taking the win on this, I think. Like, I don't think they're going to
If they
struggle
call
like
off
they
the
did.
dogs, then you might be right. If they call off the dogs, let's say they go into the fourth quarter, kind of like what the Niners did
If
to
the
the
check doesn't go
Cowboys.
through.
Yeah, so I can see that. But if yeah, I don't know. I think Patrick Mahomes, even when he doesn't try to score, he's going to score on that defense for the Broncos is just bad.
Yeah, it's
It
terrible.
really is. They've regressed
Their
drastically over the
linebackers not
year.
good. Their pass rush is not good.
hmm But I think we're all in agreement there. Chiefs are taking that
Yes.
one. Next up for
Yes,
the
sir.
first game on Sunday, we have the Ravens and Titans from London, I
And-
believe.
Yes. Shows it at 8:30 a.m. Certainly ain't waking up for that one.
Yeah, this is another like rough matchup to watch here. The Ravens this past week getting beat by the Steelers of all teams.
Yep.
Ooh.
And they had the lead for a minute, and they gave it up to lose.
I believe it was off of toward the end of the game, interception by Lamar, followed by a fumble, I believe, that really kind of sealed the deal for him.
Yes, that is correct. For this matchup, it's not a great matchup. I mean, Titans, they're not that good. Ravens, they're honestly not that good, even if they're over .500. It's just if you find a way to lose to the Steelers, I know that they are their division rivals. You just you're just not gonna win games very efficiently. But
I've
even
said
with the
before, like I said last week, and even though Will kind of like thought I was being crazy, the Ravens are way too inconsistent.
they really are.
Yeah.
No, because
And
when you said it last week, he was right to say that you were wrong because they only had one bad game. But now, if you said it, you're right.
yeah. And the Titans, they're just no better. Like they're also inconsistent. Like I said in the last podcast, they either have a good game or they're bad game, and they're starting to have a little more bad games and good games. So who's it going to
Henry looks
come down?
human.
What's that?
Henry, the running back for the Titans, looks human, bro. He looks like
Oh
I got him
yeah,
for my fantasy, and I'm regretting it. I'm like, dang, he doesn't give me nothing.
I know. Like I think his backup is doing better than he is right now, and that's
Yeah,
saying something. And I gotta
Yeah,
give
the
praise to the
one
back.
the one exception though was that week where he ran for a touchdown and passed for one like 2 weeks ago.
oh, did he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Or was it this
didn't
past
see that
weekend?
highlight.
No, it was the week before this past weekend because he didn't do much this past weekend.
Yeah, I wasn't saying. I didn't see too much highlights of him at all. Uh, with them this week. Yeah, that's a crazy game to pick, man, because it's like who's gonna make the most mistakes? The one that makes the least
Right.
mistakes can pull that off. But I still trust Lamar Jackson a little bit more than I do Tannehill. But man, that's
It's a
it's
it's a
like
rough matchup.
flip the coin. Yeah, if I have to pick, I would take the Ravens. But I'm like barely. It's like I don't know. It's a toss up.
Yeah, I feel like I think I'm gonna agree with you, Beto. I think it just comes down to quarterback play and the amount of offense the Ravens can generate. I'm just gonna go with the Ravens, but I only have them winning by 3. I think it's gonna be a pretty close contest.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna take the Ravens by 3. I think last week was a down week. I think they'll bounce back a little bit. Um, Last week was Odell's first week back, so maybe he's still getting in the groove. And then
True, true.
there was like 8 dropped passes last week. Zay Flowers, Aguilar, like 8 dropped overall from like 3 different receivers. So if they can
Yeah.
tighten that up, then the Ravens would have won last week. So I think the Ravens will find a way to win this game.
Uh, I don't know if I can trust the Ravens with this. Specifically, there is one thing that I'm looking at that makes me question it, and it's Lamar. He's been having a little bit of butterfingers. He has two interceptions on the year compared to 4 touchdowns, but he's also uh fumbled 3 times in the recent weeks. I feel like the Ravens are gonna make more mistakes.
And
So
it's very possible.
yeah, I think I'm gonna take
So
the Titans by 3.
so
All right.
let me ask you let me ask this question real quick. Um, if I sit here and said I'm making a $100 bet, who would you take then? Now I know we're just picking here for fun, but if it was $100 or let's say $1,000 on the line, would you still take the Titans over the Ravens?
That's a tough one because it's a close matchup. I like you said, it's gonna come down to who makes the most mistakes, and I just feel like the Ravens are gonna make more mistakes than the Titans are.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know if I can trust the Titans. I hear you with the Ravens, but and I don't like the Ravens that much either. But I can trust the Ravens a little bit more than the Titans are. Talk about being up and down. I mean, the
Mhm.
Ravens have shown 2 games they're up and down, but Titans has been like that all season.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster for these two teams for the most part. The Ravens have had when was that bad game? It was like was it the Browns game?
Yeah.
The first one?
For the
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had
Ravens?
Yeah.
No, the Ravens beat the
Oh,
Browns.
oh.
No, the
Oh,
Did they
Ravens
win?
Must have
lost
been.
to the Colts in
Right.
overtime, and then they just
Oh,
lost to
the
the
Colts.
Yeah.
Steelers. But I'll say that none of the Ravens' 2 losses have been as bad as when the Titans got shellacked by the Browns.
That is
that
true.
is
I'll
true.
say that.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. You're right. The floor is low and the ceilings. I don't know. If I had to pick one, it's just I would close my eyes and let's see wherever the dart goes. But
Yeah.
if I had to put money,
Flip the coin.
I would take more. I feel more comfortable picking the Ravens only because of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And like you said, if the receivers kind of step up and don't drop those balls, it could make a huge difference. But
Mhm.
if they keep doing what they did, yeah, it's a tough one. It's going to be an ugly game. I'm glad it's in
Yeah.
London because
Yeah.
terrible. Play at 6:30, everybody be asleep.
Yeah, the British can enjoy that game.
Yeah, it's bad that we're giving the British people these games. We want them to like the NFL, and we're giving them this.
Hey, they had a good game this past weekend. The
Oh,
Bills
that's
and the
true.
Yeah,
Jags.
true.
The Bills and the Jags, yeah.
Yeah, the home team won.
Dude, Trevor Lawrence should just move to London. He's never lost in London.
That is true.
But moving on. Next up, we have Commanders Falcons.
Ooh.
This one is kind of interesting in one way because last week when I had the Commanders picked to beat the Bears and the Bears absolutely walloped the Commanders, did not see that coming at all.
I don't think anybody did.
So, the problem with the Commanders is clearly their offense is still not up to par with anyone in the NFL. So, and the Falcons' defense isn't terrible. I mean, they held a pretty hot shot CJ Stroud last week. I don't remember the stats on the top of my head, but I know they limited him pretty well. And they won 21-19 against the Texans. So if the Falcons defense continues to step up the way they have, then they have a good shot at helping the Falcons win this game. Now, of course, the Falcons will have to make sure their run game gets involved as well, which I don't think that should be a problem for them against the Commanders of all teams, but who knows?
For the stats that you were mentioning there, Chris,
Yes.
Stroud was 20 of 35 for 249 and a touchdown.
Okay. Well, that's actually not too bad then.
That's not terrible. They just kept him at the end zone
Yep.
a little bit more than other teams.
Yeah.
It's their red zone defense. I feel like that's better.
Yeah. I think it might come down to that. I mean, maybe the Commanders might be able to spread the ball around on that Falcons defense, but if they struggle the way they did against the Bears last Thursday night, then I just don't see them winning against the Falcons.
Yeah.
So I'm
Where are
gonna
they
pick
playing?
This one, I believe. Hold on a
it's
sec here.
in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, granted, Atlanta fans can't even pack their own stadium to save their life, but regardless of that, I'm gonna side with the Falcons just because they're at home, and I hate to say that.
You said it pretty good, though, if you hate to say it.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I know.
I'll take the Commanders in this matchup. And as I say
Ooh.
it, I have no confidence in my pick whatsoever, but I'm just going to go with it because last week they got destroyed by the Bears, but the week before that they were
That-
in there
That's
into
something I wanted
overtime
to
with the
bring up because
Eagles.
Chris was
So,
talking about how the offense for the Commanders isn't so great. They kept up with the Eagles.
I mean, yeah, it's just which Commanders are you going to get this
Exactly.
week? And I think I don't know. I think that maybe the Commanders can pull it together. But yeah, I have no confidence in this pick, but that's what I'm going with.
I want to mention that for last week's game for the Falcons against Houston, Houston did lose their I believe he's their wide receiver too, Tank Dell.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So that kind of hurt their offense a little bit because like between him and Nico Collins, it was pretty evenly split for the yardage.
Yeah.
And
See-
the Commanders wide receiver core isn't bad. It's just Sam Howell has to play good for them to be good. Like they've got Curtis Samuel and they've got McLaurin, like they've got receivers. It's just can Sam Howell like have a good game and get the ball to him?
I think I'm gonna side with you, Paulo. I think I'm going Commanders.
I don't know. I just don't see it. Like, yeah, sure, they played really well against the Eagles and lost in overtime that week, but just the fact that they got walloped by the Bears and they got another pretty crappy team coming up with the Falcons. I just don't have enough faith in the Commanders. That's why I'm going Falcons by at least 3 points in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
do
don't
the
know.
reverse.
These quarterbacks.
Go ahead.
These quarterbacks that are facing each other, they're terrible. Both Howell and Ritter.
Yeah.
Oh my God! the reason why I asked where they're playing, because to me the leverage is going to go for the home team a little bit more. But this is another team that I just, if it was money on the line, I would not even touch it. But I would take the Falcons at home, just because they have no. I don't know about the Commanders. The Commanders, I know they play the Eagles pretty good, but that's a divisional game. You can't really division games. You can be bad or good, and they're always going to play each other well. But how much is it the Eagles too? The Eagles barely beat. Although they kind of put their foot down the Rams' throw in the fourth quarter, but they didn't win them by much. Was it 23-14?
Yeah,
So
23-14.
I don't know. I'll take Atlanta, but yeah, that's a toss up. That's whoever plays better that day is going to win it.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to defenses. Who has the better defense, and it depends for me because like the Falcons, like we said, they have a pretty good defense, but I want to know if that's more because like for last week specifically, was that because Houston was missing one of their best receivers, or is that all on the Falcons defense?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
So we're split on this one, 2-2.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh Lord, there's another one for the next game, Vikings Bears. Why are there so
Oh,
many like questionable
why?
ones this
Just
week?
why?
This one actually be easy.
It should be an easy one,
Theoretically.
but because of last week, I don't know if it is.
The only reason I say easy, 'cause I think the Bears are coming off a high. They're high in that win over the Command. I think they're going to have a letdown. Um, and I think Fields. I don't know. It's a toss up too. The Vikings defense just garbage. Oh, and I forgot Jefferson is out, right?
Yes,
Yep, he's
Yes,
on
Jefferson's
he is
out,
IR.
out.
Maybe
which is
not
sad.
easy as I thought it would be. Yeah.
Yeah, with that alone, and he's on IR for the next 4 weeks,
Yeah. Give
and
me the Bears.
the Bears.
Bears.
I, I see. I want to choose the Bears. I know they don't have Justin Jefferson. Well, excuse me, the Vikings don't have Justin Jefferson at the moment. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Viking could still move the ball even without him. But I mean, I could be wrong. I
To
mean, this
that
could be a
point,
game where I'm just
point, Chris, they have been moving the ball somewhat without Jefferson because Jefferson
That
has been
rookie quarterback.
complaining.
I mean,
He has been
yeah, that rookie
complaining about
receiver
not
is
getting
pretty good.
targeted.
Yeah, so that's why feel like I'm tempted to choose the Bears just because they're at home and they're running off a nice win off the Commanders last week. But at the same time, the Vikings just have a better offense. I mean, this could be a somewhat of a shootout. I'm not gonna say it's like a high scoring shootout. It might be, I don't know, mid-20s shootout. It could be, I don't know. It just depends how the Bears offense plays at this point. But if the Bears can find success on offense like they did last week against Commanders, then they have a good shot at winning this game. But I just think the Vikings have a better offense in this matchup here. So I'm gonna go Vikings by 7.
Usually because they have a better offense, but their defense can't stop nothing.
I know. I know.
And Justin Fields is probably going to exploit that with his legs. On when things break down, and he moves and starts running, I just don't see anybody on the Vikings that can contain him. It's a tough one,
Yeah.
but I think that if I don't like neither defenses, or offenses, but I think the offense of the Bears are a little bit better than the defense of the Vikings, and they
I
are
think
playing at home.
I want to also add because I think another way the Bears could win is if Justin Fields gets that connection with DJ Moore, because that connection was a thing of beauty last Thursday night against the Commanders. Like, man, like I think he had like 230 yards and 3 touchdowns that
Mhm.
night. DJ Moore.
DJ
I mean,
Moore turned into a monster.
he really
Well, they're
did.
they're
Like,
starting to play more and more together, so they're starting to find their niche.
Yeah.
The more
yeah.
games they're in.
So if they can continue that chemistry, they have a real good shot at winning this game. But
And the
I
Vikings
still want
secondary sucks.
Yeah.
it does, and Justin Fields could easily just tear them apart. Whether he could use his arm. You know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm choosing the Bears. I'm sorry. I got to choose the Bears in this matchup.
He started mentioning a player who's like, you know what? Yeah, what am I doing? Yeah, I think the Bears they're not that good, but they're better than the Vikings. They're a divisional game. They know each other. They play each other very well. But the defense can't stop nobody from the Vikings, and I think the Bears defense, can cause some Cousins to make some mistakes, and I think that'll
Yeah.
be enough for the Bears to come with a win, in my opinion.
I'm gonna stick with the Vikings in this. I think
Mm.
if they win, it'll be by 3, maybe. I don't see it being more than that. But I still like Jordan Addison, and Osborne, and Hawkinson's a big time tight end. I hear what y'all are saying with the Bears, and I could definitely see there being a real chance that the Bears win, but I just need to see it more. I just need to see the Bears be good more than 1 week. I need a little bit of consistency before I have belief in them.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't
I
blame
hear
you.
you on
I
that.
don't blame you.
And to the point of mobile quarterbacks against the Vikings defense, they didn't do so great against the Eagles earlier this season with Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts.
That is
So,
true.
but despite that, I think this one's going to be. I think it's going to be a shootout because I don't see great things from either defense, honestly. Even without Justin Jefferson, they still have some decent targets for Cousins on the Vikings. The Bears, Fields can extend the plays with his legs. He's got DJ Moore, who he's forming the connection with, like we said. I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think I'm going to take the Vikings by 3.
Yeah, so we're split on this one.
Once again, we're split.
It's hard for some of these, man, because the
I
first
know.
few we've looked at for this week are insanely weird and close matchups.
Chris, this is still your opportunity to go back to the Vikings if you want, bro.
Nah, I think I'm gonna stick to my guns with my change of mind. I'm still going Viking. Excuse me.
There it is, bro. It's in your
The
heart.
subconscious is telling him.
Yep.
Bears by 7. Bears by 7.
By 7, okay.
Yeah.
Chris and his big numbers, bro. I love this guy.
Hey, it's better than 21 from a few weeks
It
ago.
might as well, when it comes to those two teams, it might as well be 21, bro.
All right,
That's
let's
fun.
move on to the next one. We got Seahawks and Bengals. Ay,
That's going to be interesting.
yeah. It seems like in last week's game, the Bengals finally got back to their old selves somewhat. Jamar Chase with
Yeah.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, my fantasy team paid the price going up against Jamar Chase.
Yeah, and of course, I put Burrow on the bench this past week
I
after.
couldn't blame you, bro. It's hard to keep playing him the way he was going to play.
Yeah. It's gonna be a little difficult, I think, going up against Seattle. We all saw what they did. Was it last week? I believe. Just Seattle's.
Giants?
Yeah, Seattle. Well, it was to the Giants. That's the big thing.
Yeah, they had a bye this weekend.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the week before was. Yeah, that was when
the
Paulo
Giants.
Was hoping for
That's when they had
Jordan Brooks to get more than who was
Bobby
it?
Wagner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Bobby Wagner got like almost double what Jordan Brooks got, so. But I mean, this is a Seahawks team that beat the Lions earlier, and the Lions are considered a playoff team, so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the Seahawks are doing poorly, and then the Bengals had a great game this past weekend, but I mean, it's one great game out of 5, so we'll see if they're actually back or if they're gonna
Are they playing in
stumble a little.
Cincinnati or Seattle?
Yeah. I do want to say though, Paulo, I think it might be 2 good games for the Bengals, considering that game against the Rams where the defense kind of stepped up.
Yeah, but that's not the team having a good game so much as like most of the team had a good game, and it was just enough. I feel like this was the first game where they were actually firing all cylinders.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's a tough one
Sometimes
for
all you
me.
need is a spark.
Yeah.
That's true.
Spark starts the flame.
Yeah, I'm taking the
Um,
Bengals for me. It just jump. I'm sorry that I jumped in there, but I'm taking the Bengals. I think that Chase and Burrow is starting to hit stride, and they're going to only get better.
He,
I don't trust the defense. They have good corners, though. That's the thing about
Yeah.
Seattle. They got good corners, so that's going to be interesting. But Chase is coming into his own. If they can do what they did last week, they're going to win. I would say by 4 points, but it's going to be a close one. I like it that they're playing in Cincinnati,
mhm.
but I don't trust Geno Smith on the road like that. The better quarterback, although this year you can say he's different, but the better quarterback is still Joe. So
yeah.
sorry for jumping
I
in there, but yeah, I'm taking the Bengals.
I'm gonna agree and take the Bengals on this one, but I think this could be a potential shootout because I think Seattle's offense that I've seen them show flashes where they generate enough offense and win games, and of course if they don't run to a really good defense, that is. But I mean they've shown it. Like I said, they've shown flashes of good offenses. If they can if the Bengals keep up with their offense like they did against the Cardinals last week, then I think they have a good shot at winning this game. Plus, I think they also have a better defense compared to the Seahawks. So that's the edge of giving to the Bengals. I am going to take the Bengals by 7 in this matchup.
You better hope it's a shootout. You just traded for DK Metcalf, so
It's
I know
true.
you're
Yes.
crossing your fingers for a shootout. I'll take the
Yes.
Bengals by 3 in this matchup. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the fact that we saw Burrow pick up first downs with his legs last week is a good sign that he's at least like 95% good to go health wise.
Mhm.
T. Higgins obviously didn't play last week with his rib injury, and he's questionable to be here this week. But in his place, Trenton Irwin had a good game last week as that secondary receiver after Jamar. So I think the Bengals will be fine. And yeah, I think they get the win by like 3 points, maybe 7 at the most.
It's
Yeah,
theoretically possible.
this one's tough for me only because we've seen the flashes for Seattle of how good their offense can be at times. But I don't want to sound biased because y'all know I like the Bengals. Like I got a Burrow jersey hanging up over there in the corner. But I think I gotta agree with
LSU.
Paulo. Both LSU and Bengals.
No, I say he's an LSU product, so I know.
Yeah.
I see why you would have Joe Burrow on your jersey from him.
Let's see here. I think I gotta agree with Paulo and go Bengals by 3. I don't think it's gonna be by a whole lot. I think they
Screw the
might
Seahawks.
scrape by with it.
We need Seattle to lose.
Uh,
Oh yeah. That's
yeah, they
another
got
thing though with the Bengals is that the Bengals are just like I believe in them more than the Bears just because like the past few years, but at the same time like I need just a little bit more to like believe in them to like blow
Fully.
out a team.
Like you
Yeah.
can't fully believe in them yet, but there's a
Yeah,
little.
like I'm mostly on board after last week, but I just need after this week I'll be on board if they win.
You've got 1 foot on the in the door.
Right.
All right. So did we all just pick the Bengals on that one? Is that the first one
I
we've
think-
all picked?
I
think so.
believe so. Yes.
Yeah,
I think this one is probably going to be the same. Niners Browns.
I don't know. The
Yeah.
Browns are pretty good.
Well, the question is Deshaun
I'm
Watson
kidding.
playing?
No, I think he's out. I think they ruled. I think PJ Walker will be stepping in at quarterback. I don't care if Deshaun is playing.
Yeah.
This defense of the Niners, bro, and I say this because I'm a fan. I watch it in and out. They're playing really good. I know the sacks doesn't show it, but the pressures are there. We're humming. We're getting the quarterback all confused and get in their face. And then we just added Randy Gregory to the mix. And under Chris Kosarek, I think this kid has a lot to offer, especially with Nick Bosa and Hargrave and Armstead. I think we'll be swarming all over the game. And that defense of the Browns are no joke. Miles Garrett, the what's his name? The kid, number 55, that came from the Vikings and originally from the Packers.
I can't remember
Um,
his name, but I know who you're talking about.
yeah,
same.
he's pretty good. They've been a good match, but I think the Niners defense is just better. And our offense with Brock Purdy, the way he's been playing,
Yeah, there's no
uh,
doubt that the Niners have the better offense in this, especially
yeah,
if
even with
Deshaun isn't
Deshaun
playing.
Watson. So I don't know if it'll be another blowout like the Cowboys, but I think the Niners can put 30 again against this defense. I'll be shocked if they don't. This defense, I mean, excuse me, this offense is rolling and it's rolling. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody's healthy. The injury has not hit us yet, and we hope it doesn't. So I think the Niners easily by 14.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
same.
take the Niners as well. I'll say they beat them by 20. I don't really like to give big numbers like that, but I think like we just saw what the Niners did to the Cowboys. We saw what they did to the Steelers. I mean, even the Browns offense kind of like seemed a little bit inept when they played the Steelers. The Steelers defense was a bit much for the Browns offense at the beginning of the season. So I mean, like if they make mistakes like that, then this Niners defense is gonna eat them up.
And we are going to have the two best linebackers in football right now with Fred Warner and Greenlaw playing back there. So I'm very confident in my defense against their offense. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Niner fan, just as a football fan. This
Mhm.
defense is pretty damn good.
Yeah, even as a fan of like the Saints, I see that the Niners defense is something to be feared.
Yeah.
That's why the quarterbacks are getting the ball out 2.3, 2.5 seconds. Because that's their strategy. Let's get the damn ball out of the quarterback's hand really quick because these guys will be there, and that fears. That's why Eric Armstead sent a tweet to Daniel Jones. What, you can't show us no love? The way he held on to the ball against Seattle, and Seattle had 10 sacks, and they're deep. They don't have a pass rush over there, but they were not afraid of their pass rush, so they held on to the ball. With us, Daniel Jones, he wasn't completing them, but he was getting it out of his hands 2.5 seconds because he didn't want to hold on to it. So yeah, that's why the sacks don't look good for us. But the pressure that we're putting on these quarterbacks
Yeah.
and getting them to make mistakes is enough.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna
that
take the Niners. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I was gonna say I was gonna take the Niners by 14 in this matchup.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement here that the Niners are winning this, no doubt, in my mind, at least.
Yeah.
Let's
Like
see here.
yeah.
Next, we got another interesting one: Colts and Jaguars.
Mm.
We got a division game.
This could go either way, honestly.
I think
Minch is the quarterback, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Richardson's out for 3-4 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, and I think for that reason, I'm taking Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville has a slightly better offense than the Colts, but they have a much better defense than the Colts as well. I mean, the way the Jags shut down the Bills for the most part of last week's game in London was very impressive. And the Colts, while they've shown a lot of good things on offense and some good things on defense, I got a feeling the Jaguars are gonna take over this game. I'm not gonna say they're gonna destroy them or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. it's probably going to be close. It's a division rival game. It could go either way. But I just like the Jaguars' offense and defense better than the Colts. So I'm going with the Jaguars, and they're probably going to win by a touchdown.
I'll also go with the Jaguars by a touchdown. We already saw this year the Jaguars beat the Colts, and that was with Anthony Richardson. So I think as much as I like Gardner Minshew as a backup, he's one of the higher quality backups in the league. I don't see him having more success against the Jaguars than Anthony Richardson did. So I think the Jaguars win by 3-7, somewhere in there.
Interesting. I take the Jags by 10. I think that Trevor Lawrence will have a better game than Minshew. The running back is starting to play well. I can never say his name, but and their defense is starting to put things together. They play the Bills pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So again, like Chris said, this is a divisional game. They know each other. So yeah, I'm taking the Jags easily by 10.
Another one we all agree on.
We're on a roll, folks.
And I think this is another one. Panthers Dolphins.
Easily
Oh,
Dolphins.
that's a hard one.
Man, hush.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dolphins are gonna be no match for the Panthers. Like, yeah, the Panthers have a slightly decent defense, but they have. I mean, there's a reason why they're winless right now. They're young on offense, very inexperienced on offense as well. Their defense is the only thing that's a bright spot on that team. But there's just no way in hell that they can manage and take on a really high-potent, high-powered offense that the Miami Dolphins have. Like, there's just no way. Like, I'm not saying they're going to put 70 points on these guys, but I could see them putting maybe a 50 burger on them. So, give me the Dolphins by 21 in this one.
Yeah, I think there's even less chance of the Panthers beating the Dolphins than the Broncos beating the Chiefs. Like, I don't see any sort of reality where the Panthers have a shot this week unless, like, the Dolphins, like, team just drops dead on the field. That's the only way. I'll take the Dolphins by 25.
Paulo
Sounds
going
reasonable.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not even a stretch going by 25. They have a lot of weapons. That young running back for the Dolphins.
18?
Yeah, this guy is playing really good. The
He's on
defense is
IR, actually. He won't be there.
yeah, he is. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right.
They still do have Mostert as well, though.
Mostert. Yeah, Raheem
Yeah.
Mostert. They have Hill. They have Tua's playing really good. The Panthers are going to be interesting if they win that number one in the draft next year. They're going to be able to trade that for a lot of capital. People are going to be wanting to go to get Caleb Williams from USC, so that'll benefit because they have their quarterback. So yeah, I take this game easy by a blowout. I'll say 24 points.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to go Dolphins by 20. Pretty much anybody on that offense, when you look at the running backs or the receivers, you could, like, look week to week and think, maybe they should be testing that guy for PEDs. Because of
just because they're that good.
Yeah.
They're just going to get randomly, quote unquote, randomly selected just because.
Yeah, they're fast. Yeah, they got speed all over the place.
There's a reason Tyreek Hill is nicknamed the Cheetah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did they clock them the last game? At 23 miles per hour? Or?
I don't remember.
But it was fast.
I don't remember either.
And Raheem Mostert's fast, and he blew him out. So I'm like, yeah, they got speed over there for sure. Even their head coach, Mike McDaniel, has speed. I don't know if you guys seen a couple of weeks ago when he took off running away from the reporter and left him behind. I thought that was hilarious.
Let's see. Give me Next up, we've got Patriots and Raiders.
Patriots. Oh my God, they're garbage.
Yeah. I don't think the Patriots are winning
I've said it
anything
plenty of
anytime
times.
soon.
I've said it plenty of times. Mac Jones ain't it.
He really is not. Like, I mean, you couldn't score anything against a Saints team. And I don't mean to dog my own Saints because I love my Saints, but I mean, the Saints have been struggling offensively, and last two games they were struggling defensively. But the fact that you couldn't score a single touchdown, like, bruh, come on, man.
It didn't even make it to the red zone. Like,
You're right. They couldn't even cross
insane.
the 50-yard line. Like, it was that sad. Like, I mean, as a Saints fan, I was enjoying it. I was loving it because we really beat the crap out of them. But man, at the same time, I'm like, this dude is trash.
Yeah, Mac Jones currently is sitting at a 62.5 completion percentage, but has 5 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy, bro. That just shows you that Bill Belichick, bro. A lot of people are like, he's a great coach, he's a this and that. How much of that was Tom Brady on that offense?
Yeah.
That made Bill Belichick look good.
The further we stray from the Tom Brady era, the more and more that becomes apparent that Brady was definitely carrying this man to a degree for that
Yeah.
whole time.
Granted, though, on the opposite side of the field this week with Garoppolo, I think, is the better quarterback. But for some of these stats, though, yeah, he's thrown 6 touchdowns, but he's also threw 7 interceptions, even
Yeah, that's
missing a
Garoppolo
game.
for you.
Yeah,
That's
I don't.
Garoppolo.
I'll still take the Raiders in this matchup. You know, obviously it's kind of Raiders and Patriots is kind of like a homecoming for a lot of people because Garoppolo used to be a Patriot, and Jacoby Myers, and even head coach, what's his name? Josh McDaniels.
Yep.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Josh
So
McDaniels.
I mean, it's kind of like they know each other to a degree, like these teams. But I think the Raiders have much better weapons. You've got Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers,
Josh
you've got
Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. Yeah, I trust Jimmy. Like, it's strange to say I trust Jimmy G because, as you said, his stats aren't great, but I trust him more than Mac Jones. And the Raiders are coming off of a win against Green Bay, who is kind of, I mean, Green Bay handed us a loss, so, and then we just smacked down the Patriots, so I
You
don't
gotta
know. I
love
think the
football,
Raiders
bro.
walk away with one.
Yep. Any given Sunday. Yeah, I take the Raiders too. I take the
Yeah.
Raiders over the Patriots. Patriots are just their offense is so bad that their defense can't keep up, and they're just on the field too much. And Mac Jones is trash, and I forgot who the offensive coordinator, O'Brien, isn't it?
Yes.
Over there, and I'm like, that dude, yeah, nope. Raiders, and it's funny because Jimmy G's there, but Jimmy G's he throws his interceptions, but he's a smarter player than Mac Jones, so I give him the edge. And I love their number 98, Max Crosby. That guy's a beast for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I got the
definitely taking
Raiders as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a safe bet with the Raiders because I think that while they're not perfect, they get the job done, and I think they're just gonna be able to. This might be the Raiders' biggest win of the season.
Yeah, I
I mean,
honestly think the same. The Raiders' defense is nothing to write home about, but the defense doesn't have to be good when the other team's offense is terrible.
Yeah, they made the Cowboys look really good the week
literally.
before they played us.
Uh,
So yeah,
next up, though, Lions and Buccaneers.
Lions and Buccaneers.
I want to take the Lions on this.
Yeah. I just with the Buccaneers in particular, like I just feel like they're playing a lot of easy teams this season so far, and their only good team they've really gone up against has been the Eagles, and the Lions just look really good right now. I just gotta take the Lions because I think their defense is gonna be able to manhandle, or not completely manhandle, but slow down the Bucks offense. The Bucks defense isn't gonna slow down the Lions offense unless they just have an absolute bad day, which it could be possible. I mean, the Lions have been known to have bad days here and there, but just give me the Lions. I got the Lions by 10 in this matchup because they have a more complete offense than the Bucks. The Bucks haven't. I mean, they can move the ball, but it takes them some time to move the ball, and the defense is doing all they can. Just give me the Lions by 10 in this matchup.
I want to do a little side note here for anybody who's interested in baseball. The Astros just won their game tonight, so the finals are going to be
Let's
the
go.
Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros.
Let's go Stros.
And I guess tomorrow is waiting to see who wins from the other
Do you guys know
divisions.
who won between the Braves and
I
Phillies.
do not, but I can look.
I know the Braves got crushed by the Phillies 9-1. I know that for a fact.
Was that today?
That was today, yes.
Jeez.
well, then they won.
Yeah.
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 10-2.
And-
It was 10-2.
Oh, 10-2. Okay, that was the last time I saw their score, so that was the only updated version I had.
And the Diamondbacks are currently up 4-0.
Oh, I love
Nice.
it. Oh, I hate the Dodgers.
So
I'm a
do
San
we.
Francisco fan. Yeah.
Let's
Good.
see here though. I think the Lions are winning this one just because of their offense is rolling. Their defense has been performing really well. Even without Amon-Ra St. Brown at receiver, some of their other ones have kind of stepped up. They just seem like the better team to me over the Buccaneers. So I'm gonna pick them by 7.
I concur, bro. I concur right with you. I agree with everything. I'm taking them by 7 as well.
Paulo, did you give your pick? Or is he even here?
He might be eating his Chick-fil-A
I
again.
swear to God. Yeah, we'll
That
get
man,
his when he comes back.
Chick-fil-A. Yes.
Next up, we have another division game. Cardinals-Rams.
I think the Rams are going to struggle against the Cardinals this week. And
Now he's
and,
back.
oh, there he is. What's your pick with the Lions and Bucks? Real
Oh,
quick.
Lions, easily.
Okay. Eric.
Just gotta get that on record. So this past week wasn't really a hot streak, but I'm in second place, I think.
What's your pick between Chick-fil-A and Popeyes?
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
Chick-fil-A. I love Popeyes, but Chick-fil-A's got
Yes.
that factor where you could eat Chick-fil-A like a lot more often without getting sick of it. I don't know.
That was me in
I don't
college.
know how to describe
Every
that.
day.
You know, it's funny. I've been there one time because people were raving about it, and I pledged never to go back again. But you know, everybody has their. I like to go to Kearney's. I think it's called Kearney's. I forgot what it. But maybe I got to go back and try something different. But I was kind of disappointed with the meal that I got.
Mm.
Being that you're a professional Chick-fil-A guy, if I go
Oh,
back,
yeah.
what would you recommend?
Oh, do you remember what you got last time?
Oh no, it's been about a year.
All right.
no.
Well, I'm typically I like the tenders, but I also like the spicy chicken sandwich. And I don't know. I'm me personally. I don't know a lot of people that get it, but I'm a fan of their grilled chicken sandwich too.
Okay, I
I
know
love
it
how we're
wasn't the
talk-
grilled chicken that I got.
I love how we're talking about chicken
Hey,
restaurants.
it's-
on
and
a
while we're
podcast.
talking about chicken, I gotta pop in with this. I like Chick-fil-A, but Raisin Cane's on top.
That's the one that I was talking about. I say
Oh,
Cardinals.
Uh,
Raising King. Yeah, I love them. They're
Delicious.
yes,
I
Raising
do-
Kings.
I love my Raising Canes too, but I'm sorry, I have to say Chick-fil-A over Raising Canes. It's just
They
I'm
just
with
opened
you,
up.
Chris. I'm with you.
like Raising Canes will always be second place in my heart, but no, Chick-fil-A is better than the other three.
Really? Yeah. Well, Raising Cane's, they just opened it up here in the area that I live at, and then my first time tried it. I tried it multiple times already, and I've gone back, and I love their tenders. I love their chicken sandwiches. But I have to go back to Chick-fil-A. Maybe go to a different one and give it another try. If the second try around doesn't work, and then I can sit there and say it's not for me. But
Uh,
Raising Cane's, yeah, bro.
the people at home getting some good info for their choice of chicken this week.
Yeah, just right
Yes. Today's
Uh,
episode is sponsored by Chick-fil-A,
I
Popeyes,
wish-
and Cane's.
I
Speaking
wish
of which,
we were.
isn't Cane's the official sponsor of the Saints down here?
I believe
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
But going back to the conversation, Paulo, did you give your pick Lions Buccaneers?
Yeah, Lions.
I think
I'd
we
say
all said the
Lions by
same.
like 10.
Yeah, I said. I think we all said what Lions by 7. Let's
isn't
see.
Chick-fil-A a sponsor of the Buccaneers
I don't
Falcons.
know.
I have no
or
idea.
Falcons? The Falcons, that's right.
Oh.
I don't know
Chris
about
about
you,
to change his
fans.
Yeah,
mind.
Chris better change his mind just because of that.
Chris is about to,
Chris
he's
Petty.
about to say Cane's is better than Chick-fil-A.
That's right. Cane's better than Chick-fil-A.
Nah.
God. But let's go back to this game. Cardinals Rams. This one's tough for me because the Cardinals have been they've been putting up a fight in every game they play. They're not
Yeah,
going down without a
they're
fight.
interesting. Yeah.
And
I'm gonna
honestly,
take the Rams in this. Oh, go ahead.
you're good.
I was gonna say I'm gonna take the Rams in this matchup. Like it does, like on paper, just based on what we've seen, it does seem close. But I mean, last week was Cooper Cup's first week back, and he's gonna continue to just get back to where he was. And James Conner's on IR or injured. I don't know if he's on IR, but he's out, so that might
Oh,
play
he
a
got
factor
hurt?
as well. Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was a
Ooh.
knee injury or something like that.
Yes, but with that,
I did.
Paulo, the backup that's going to be stepping up in his place is also not too bad.
He's not, but he's unproven, and I think that's we'll see how he does in a full game that he starts.
And the Rams, they're getting Cup back. Like I said, the second game, they still have that cool, whatever that kid's name, number 17, is doing good. So, and they got Matthew Stafford. I know Dobbs has been doing good, but Matthew Stafford, keep him upright. He's still a pro. Hate to pick the Rams, but it's just if I pick the Cardinals, it will be just strictly. You know what? I hate the Rams. I'm taking the Cardinals. Never mind.
I'm going.
Even if
I'm sorry.
no, I said even if I lose that, I don't care. I just can't stand the
Oh.
Rams.
I'm putting this as my upset game of the week. I'm choosing the Cardinals for this matchup. Yeah, I mean, all statistics will probably say that the Rams should beat the Cardinals, but the Cardinals have been fighting hard. Yeah, they kind of fell short against the Bengals last week, but it's the fact that they fight hard, and this is a divisional rival game. And the Rams, they have been good, but I just feel that this is gonna be their one game where they just absolutely choke. So I'm gonna take the Cardinals by 3.
I think I've got to agree. I think this one might be an upset.
Yes.
This might be the Cardinals' second win.
Hope so.
Let's
So I'm
see.
on my own with the
Yeah, you on your
Rams.
own with this one, I think, Paulo. I
Alright.
honestly think the Cardinals have a really good shot at that. But these next few, we got 3 left. All but one, I think, should be an easy pick. Eagles Jets is next.
You know what?
Eagles.
It's gotta be the Eagles.
Don't you dare say Jets, Chris.
Oh,
I'm
you
really-
trying to copy me from last week?
Yes.
So
Hey,
if the
I
Jets
ain't
win,
betting
Jose, are
you.
you buying him dinner?
I ain't betting you
Yes.
no lunch money. Not on this.
Oh no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I was flirting with the idea of picking the Jets, but no. I think the Eagles should have this in the bag because they have a better defense and the offense is starting to click. At least I hope it is. But I mean, sure, they might have a little trouble moving the ball against that really good Jets defense, and they've done a pretty good job late in recent weeks. Just haven't been able to get the job done, except against Denver, obviously. But I think if the Eagles generate enough offense and the Eagles defense keeps the Jets offense off the field, which they should have no problems there, I have the Eagles winning by 10 points.
Are they playing in Philly or New York?
It
That's a
is
good question.
not telling me on this. Why is it not telling me?
Let me see. They are playing in New York. Yes.
Then I'm taking them to be an upset. I got a
Oh,
feeling the
okay.
Jets. I'm taking the
Oh.
Jets.
Ooh,
I think that defense is good enough for the Jets. And I think what's his name is finding the stride a little bit. And then Brees Hall has been tearing it up, and they're trusting him. He's healthy. Not that they're trusting him, but he's healthy with his run. He'll be able to run on the Eagles. Yeah, basically they're playing at home. I take it as an up. Now I'm not gonna say no damn blowout, but I think they beat them by 3.
interesting.
Jose, you gonna pay Beto lunch for that one?
No, that'd be you. That'd be you because I can actually kind of see it, but I think the Eagles are still going to come out on top by probably somewhere between 7 and 3.
I'll take the Eagles by 10. I think the Jets had a good game last week, but you just got to look at the level of competition. The Jets did do good against the Chiefs, but I don't know. I don't see the Jets being the team that knocks the Eagles out of the undefeated section.
Remember that they struggled. The Eagles struggle with the Rams' youth. I mean, defense. They struggle with that defense for
Yeah,
3
that's true.
quarters. Now they stepped it up in the 4th quarter. But that's because the Rams are such a young defense. Besides Aaron Donald, I mean, Aaron Donald. Who else is back there? They're nobodies. They're all young kids, and they struggle into the 4th quarter. That Jets defense is pretty. Sauce Gardner's back there. The pass rush is good. Williams. Yeah. I just think it's going to be a little bit too much. I think it's going to be a hot fought game. Now, if the Jets don't turn it over, that's the only thing. Is
Yep.
they start turning it over, is forget it. But if they can keep the ball without turning it over, I can see the Jets winning it.
I also want to say something. I was listening to last week's podcast over again earlier today to get our record for like each of us making our picks the past I think 3 weeks. And I want to say from what I said about last week's Eagles Rams game, I'm a freaking sidekick. I said they were going to stay close the whole game, and in the 4th quarter, the Eagles were going to pull away and win it. I was right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what they
Wow.
did.
They sure did. Maybe I should ask you for who's gonna win so I can make easy betting money.
We'll get to the records after we make these last 2 picks, though.
Sounds good.
Next up, though, we have Giants Bills.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I don't think the Giants have a chance. I think
The
No.
Giants are going to be
Curb
the
stomp 'em.
victim of the Bills' frustrations from this past week.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, have you seen the injury list for the Giants? They have no starting quarterback, no starting receiver, missing 3 of their starting offensive linemen, no starting running back. It's like it's a train wreck just waiting to happen. I have the Bills by at least 21 in this matchup because there's just no way the Giants can stop them or they can beat them in any phase of the game. There's just no way.
The Bills don't even have to show up for the game, and the Giants will find a way to lose.
Yeah, they could probably. In fact, the Bills could probably throw in a pee-wee football team, call those kids the Bills, and they would still find a way. The Giants would still find a way to lose the game.
And lose, yeah. I'm taking the Bills by a blowout easily.
Yeah.
Whoever mentioned right now that about the frustration part, you're absolutely 100% right. They will take that frustration out on the Giants, and I feel bad for the Giants.
Yeah, all that frustration last week that you saw on the sidelines of Stephon Diggs trying to
Yeah.
snap that tablet in half. Yeah, get ready, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's not.
I think
He's
the
not.
Bills.
TD.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, I was just saying he's not a Metcalf with a body type. So Diggs, you can't break tablets, bro. You're not that strong.
Nah, you got to pull the Tom Brady and spike it into the ground.
Yeah. But I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I was just gonna say, I'll take the Bills by 17, and that's like y'all saying like 2021. Like I can fully see that. I'm just trying to be a little modest, but yeah, I don't think it's not gonna be much of a contest.
Yeah. And to move on to the final game for the week, Monday Night Football, Cowboys Chargers.
Oh, Kelly Moore revenge.
Ooh, this is an interesting one because the Cowboys offense it's not amazing. We saw that this past week. Dak 3 interceptions. What the heck is wrong with you?
I don't know, man. I saw a quote by him, but and this was like in the beginning of the season, like before the regular season started. He said he wouldn't throw more than 9 interceptions in this season.
Oh, there goes 3.
Well,
Yeah.
4 total for
And he
me
has 4
already.
total. Yeah, because against the Cardinals, he threw 1.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I think that's gonna go out the window very quickly.
Granted, I don't think the Chargers defense is amazing.
No,
like
it's not.
Yeah, like we said
Uh,
early in the season, they have the same story as the Vikings in a lot of ways. Their offense is rolling, but their defense is not.
Well, this matchup is kind of an interesting one because you have a not great offense going against a not great defense, and then a top offense against a top defense.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
for that reason I think it might be a close game.
Yeah.
I think I would agree. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Chargers. Like I even with the Cowboys 2 losses, I'm scared to pick against them just because that is a top defense still if it shows up. But I don't know. I feel like again, yeah, like Kellen Moore, like that offense for the Chargers, it looks even better than it did last year. And Trayvon Diggs is still out, so Keenan Allen could get some catches. I think the Chargers seal the deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that, just because we've seen how top tier offenses can do against the Cowboys defense, Niners.
Yeah.
But I think the Chargers are winning this. Dallas is about to get their third L.
The matchup
Yeah.
between Dan Quinn and Kelly Moore is going to be interesting. They work alongside the opposite sides of the field, but they know each other. And I think Kelly Moore feels that he was the scapegoat for last year's playoff loss to the Niners, and they had to put the blame somewhere. Instead of getting rid of Dak or getting rid of Mike McCarthy, they got rid of Moore. And I think Moore has been I think he circled this game, and watching that game against us on Sunday night, he's going to use a lot of that. And then as great as Brock Purdy played, Justin Herbert is way better in every aspect. So I got a feeling that Moore's going to have something up his sleeve for Dan Quinn's defense. I take the Chargers. I'll say by 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Chargers by 7 in this matchup. Um, I think this will be a pretty close game. I think the Chargers offense is a lot better than the Cowboys offense at this point because the Cowboys offense has struggled in the recent weeks. Obviously against the Niners. I mean, there's no they just got manhandled all the way through. And granted, they did blow out the Patriots the week before, but then I don't know. It's just the Cowboys just look like they're starting to get out of sync early. It's like they peaked too soon. Now they're just starting to crumble a little bit, little by little. So, and Justin Herbert with a connection with Keenan Allen, excuse me. I just like that matchup better than I have with Dak and CD Lamb. So
And they get
I'm gonna
and
say
they get Eckler back.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah.
And Eckler's another one of
So
those guys like McCaffrey who can run and he can also catch out of the backfield and make something out
yeah,
of those.
exactly.
So
Dangerous.
Yeah, so give me the Chargers by 7 in this matchup.
All right, but I have to correct myself. I am disappointed that I forgot something. We have one game that we did not talk about.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you're
ours. I was waiting for you
Yeah,
to say
I
it.
Yeah,
was.
Saints
Yeah,
Texans. We completely
I was about to
forgot.
say what I was like,
I was.
I was about
I
to
was
bring
like,
that up.
I was gonna wait till the end if you guys didn't bring it up. I'm like, excuse me,
We completely
please, Saints
forgot
fans,
about that.
I was gonna bring it up, but we were too busy talking, so I was
Yeah,
like,
I think the
I'll
trying
main
to like,
wait.
reason
can they
I think
fillet,
the I think the main reason
chicken
I
fillet
forgot
to
about
get
it
light.
is because like when I'm looking at this, because I have the Saints as my favorite team, it puts them at the first one. So I started it
Ah,
Thursday and just kept going down.
oh no.
Yeah,
Mm,
that makes sense. I've done that. The
Yeah.
Niners are obviously highlighted, so they're on top. We'll let it
Well,
fly.
without
We'll let it fly.
without further ado, Saints and Texans. Um, this should be a pretty good matchup. I think what I saw from the Saints last week was very promising. Like, if we can get that kind of offense going, like I was hoping they would been the last 4 games. If we get that kind of offense and the offensive line holds up for the most part, we have a good shot at win this game. Um, Now, can the defense hold off CJ Stroud? And one thing for sure is the Saints defense has been suspect to uh loot to not playing well against really good rookie quarterbacks, and CJ Stroud is a really good rookie quarterback. And uh so I guess that's gonna be the Saints secondary biggest test so far of the season is containing CJ Stroud and shutting him down as quick as possible. So with that being said, I I know the Texans are at home and they just took a big L to the Falcons, which is that's kind of embarrassing if you think about it. But I'm gonna take the Saints in this matchup, but it's gonna be a by field goal. I think it's gonna be a pretty close game, but we win by a field goal.
I agree. I'll take the Saints by a 3. This is a game that I was worried about for a couple of weeks, but this past week kind of gave me some hope. Because we obviously the Patriots aren't any good, but we shut them down at home. They didn't score any points. And then our defense, I would say, is better than the Falcons. And the Falcons defense was able to stop CJ Stroud. Uh, I don't know if Tank Dell's gonna play, but if he
I don't think
does,
he
he's not
is.
gonna be 100%. Yeah, so I mean, there's a slight edge right there. Our defense is pretty decent against the run, not quarterback runs. If CJ
No.
Stroud tries to run, then he's gonna run all over us. But
Mhm.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, we're pretty good at stopping running backs this year, and Damian Pierce is underperforming as it is in terms of yards per carry. So I think we got a fair shot to come out with a close win.
My only
yeah,
concern is the Texans defense isn't amazing, but the big question is, was last week's offensive success attributed to us or the Patriots defense being just
yeah.
bad?
That was another concern of mine as well because as great as we played against the Patriots all game long, is that really who we are, or we be the Saints offense that we saw against the Bucks and in the last 3 other games as well. So I think this is going to be a good prove it kind of game. If we could put up at least 20 points on this Texans team and hold the Texans to under 20 points, then I think we have a good shot at winning this game. But this is a good prove it kind of game for the Saints offense. Derek Carr needs to be on point with his passes. He needs to continue to establish connections with Michael Thomas and hopefully get those big throws to Olave. He had a few of them this past Sunday, but Olave couldn't secure the catch right away. So that's a little bit on him. But continue to establish those connections, get that run game going, and I think we have a good shot at winning this game if you have all those phases work in your favor, of course.
Yeah, I want to make a bold prediction here.
What's
Oh
that?
dear.
I don't think the score for either team goes above 24.
Really?
I don't know if that's that bold of a prediction.
I don't.
'cause
I think
we've
we'll be
only scored
lucky.
more than
I think
24
either
once.
team will be lucky if they score 20.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, given how the Saints offense has played so far this season outside of last Sunday, I could see how we may not be able to score more than 20 points. But if we do, I'd say that'd be a big accomplishment.
Yeah, if they score more than 20, then the Saints are winning, I think, because our defense is pretty good going against a pretty decent offense for the Texans. I think our defense should be able to hold up. It's just a question of our offense, and for that, I think I'm gonna take the Saints by 3. But I've made the prediction like a week or two ago that of the Texans game and the Patriots game, we were gonna win one and lose the other before we go into our bye week.
Yeah.
Interesting. This game, CJ Stroud. This kid is special. 0 interceptions.
The record holder
As a,
for consecutive
yep,
passes.
yep. As a rookie, D'Amico Ryans. I know him all too well as our ex-defensive coordinator. Their defense is a little suspect. They got a little bit more to work on. Man, this is probably be the last time you guys invite me to come on the show, but I think I'm going to take the Texans by 3.
Mm,
Yeah,
I just
I
like CJ
honestly don't
Stroud.
blame you because it's kind of
yeah.
a toss up to me.
Yeah, and if you weren't here and Will was here, he'd be making the same prediction. So
Most likely.
yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing against the Saints, but it's just I like CJ Stroud. He's playing at home. They lost to the Falcons. I think they're going to look at that film, be disgusted with themselves, and and then
It'll light a fire in 'em.
Olave. He hasn't. I haven't been watching all Saints games at all, so I don't know. But it seems like Olave has really regressed from last year. I don't know if it's because he hasn't. Is he hurt or?
No,
Well,
I think
they-
it's.
No.
I think
They
it's
say
that.
he's
Oh, go ahead.
from what I heard, they say he sustained a minor toe injury, but honestly, they saying minor. Of course, I'm saying that fingers crossed because anything they say minor ends up being major. So if he has a toe injury, that's probably why he looks like he's regressed some. Because in the first 3 games of the season, he was averaging over 100 yards a game, and then this sudden injury just
Okay.
came out. Yeah, but then this injury came out of nowhere, and next thing you know, he's not getting much. So, if this is a legit injury, then that could be why he doesn't look as good. So in the last
Oh,
two
but
games in
if he's
particular.
averaging 100 yards, then like I said, I haven't been watching the things at all.
Yeah,
That then to me that doesn't show that he digress at all. Regress, excuse me. Because but
yeah,
toe injuries, man. I don't care how minor they are, especially when you got to make your cuts or your route run. It's hard
yep,
when you can't plant your foot down because of your toe. So that could be
yeah. I
something
mean,
that's lingering.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Another
look at
thing from
Michael
last
Thomas.
year. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is another thing is that Olave was the #1 receiver last year because by this point last year Thomas was out for the season. So
That is
Thomas is
correct.
back as wide receiver 1. He's getting more targets.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. You're right. He was out last year. Yeah, but 100 yards again in the last 3 games. That's not too bad.
Yep.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, it's a good start. I just hate that if this injury is the reason why he's regressed in the last 2 games. I hope he will change that this coming game against the Texans.
Yeah. With that, though, I think that concludes all the games for the week. But before we sign off for this one, we had a comment asking to give our records for our picks for the week.
We got a comment?
Yes,
We
we
Who
did.
did.
commented? We have commenters?
Chris's mom, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
Yeah.
my mama? Oh,
Yeah.
hey, ma.
He watches the show. I love it.
And also,
Yes.
since you mentioned, Chris, that your brother Andrew watches or listens or watches to the show, what's up, Andrew? We miss you.
Yes, we miss you. Come back to Louisiana. You need to come back from Mardi Gras.
But for our picks, I went and tallied them up since week 3. At the top is me at 29-16. Behind me is Paulo at 28-17. Chris is 26-19, and because Will has missed a week, he's 13-16.
well, 2 weeks now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think with Will, what we need to do is not go on how many we got right and like percentage-wise it at the end of the season, just to account for the fact that he wasn't here for some, because it's not like he got them wrong. He just...
Yeah. I plan on keeping a tally on these until the end of the season, so we can get a feel for who had the better knowledge of the teams.
So are we gonna do like a prize at the end of the season for whoever has the best
I mean,
average?
if you want to offer one up.
It should be a gift. It should be a gift card to Chick-fil-A.
Oh God.
I mean, it could be. There's still plenty of time to figure out what it could be, but yeah, I feel like there's not enough of us to do like a punishment for last place, but there should definitely be like a little something for whoever comes in first.
Yes.
Oh God. But with that, I think that concludes all of our picks for this week. Paulo, do you want to take us out?
You cut it off last time before I even did anything.
Yes, I did.
See, I didn't think I
Everybody
hit this
dance
far.
now.
Bam,
Dan,
bam,
dan,
bam, bam,
Good night, everybody.